Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors of all time, once said, "Always sell stocks if you have a feeling things could be bad. Forget fundamentals, they mean nothing." What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor, and that quote is obviously completely and utterly false. Such is this one. One must always wait for CPI data before making any investment. Don't buy good value stocks without CPI data. One of my favorite Warren Buffett quotes. Today, investors, I have a very simple video to make, a very simple message to spread, and one that needs to just be brought up more often. I think a lot of us don't bring it up because we get so infatuated with making videos on particular companies. We get so obsessed with looking for the new really good stock that, we forget to just speak about the absolute basics sometime. And what that realistically comes down to, okay, is why buying and holding stocks, index funds, etc. will literally always beat trying to time the market. The reason I'm making this video, guys, is because of everything that's going on YouTube right now. I think people know that there's a lot of drama in this space. I personally am not enjoying stock market YouTube at all right now. It's not a very fun community to be in right now. There's not a lot going on. There's a lot of beef. There's a lot of... I don't even know how to explain it, but I want to make this video. Partially because a lot of things we're going to speak about today are things that I have not done in the past and things that I want to do a much better job of in the future. Things that I have learned over the last couple of years that have lost me money in certain instances, but is going to ultimately make me a lot more money going forwards. And hopefully I get to share that with you, okay? So in order to go through this information, we're going to have a look at the S&P 500 historical annual returns, okay? We're going to have a look at why time in the market quite literally never works and why I can't find any examples of pretty much anyone who's ever done it consistently, okay? And why the math, simply put, is not in your favor, even if you were the worst long-term investor of all time, okay? You bought at the worst times ever, you still probably outperform most people who try to time the market. We'll speak about why even the economists, the macro economists, can't time the market themselves. They can't even time recessions most of the time. Really quickly, my friend, can I please ask you to hit that juicy like button if you want more videos like this? Sometimes just speaking what is extraordinarily obvious but doesn't get spoken about enough on YouTube with all of the hype that gets thrown around sometimes. Drop me a comment down below and subscribe if you're new around here. Also, if you want some free stocks on Moomoo, honestly, an absolutely incredible broker. All you have to do is sign up using my link in the description. You get up to 5 free stocks. You get your first one just for opening your account, another one when you fund your account. And if you continue to fund it, you can get up to 5. Each one worth up to $3,500. Commission free for my US family trading US stocks, investing in US stocks, free level 2 data. It genuinely is a very juicy broker. Smash that link, get yourself some free money. So we're just going to start it off by looking at the S&P 500 annual returns, okay? Annual returns all the way from 1930 to 2020 where we are now. And you'll see that the large majority of them are green. There are some red candles here that go all the way down to negative 40% in some instances. We have some green candles that are plus 40% as well. But you will see that you can imagine by looking at this, if you just bought at pretty much any stage and held for any considerable amount of time, you would make money, because that literally is how the stock market works. It doesn't matter if you buy during a recession, if you buy just before a recession. Look at everybody who bought March 2020, or more so January, February 2020. At the very, very tops, okay, boom, they lost a lot of money, okay, 30+% crash. It didn't take long before they were in the green, even if they hadn't dollar cost average whatsoever. I used to be one of the people who thought, I understand the process, the thought process behind long-term investing. I understand that if I invest and I just keep dollar cost averaging, even when prices are high, even when they're low, I will ultimately make money. But I thought that I could do one better. I thought that I could use all of my technical analysis. I thought that I could win. I thought that somehow I could beat the macro economist and I could time the market on certain occasions. The simple truth is that you will be able to time the market sometimes. Maybe you'll have a month, a year, 2 years where you do time the market. Maybe you'll catch some huge swings. Some huge macroeconomics will actually change and you will make a whole lot of money because of that, okay? But if you're investing over a 20, 30, 40 year span, do you really think that you are going to get it right the majority of the time? The simple answer is no, you are not going to get it right that often. A small number of days generate a large proportion of returns. Now, this is specifically speaking about the S&P 500, but it does go for pretty much every major index out there. One paper found that over a 20-year time span, 20 years, the 35 best days accounted for all of the gains in that period. That's less than 1% of the more than 5,000 trading days across 2 decades, okay? If you are in and out of the markets continually, if you get it wrong just a handful of times, your returns will be terrible in comparison to average. And that is said right down here. Bank of America published a paper that quantified the effects of missing the 10 best and worst trading days for each decade based on the S&P daily returns, okay? The authors found that someone who invested in the S&P from 1930 through 2020 would have achieved nearly 18,000% return. Keep in mind, this is just investing in an index, okay? The most popular index in the entire world. You don't have to do any research, okay? You don't have to read any Q3s. You don't have to keep up Q3s, Q10s. You don't have to keep up to date with any earnings reports. You don't have to know a single thing about the management. You don't have to know a single thing about any of the companies you're invested in. It is not a time sink whatsoever. And there is an 18,000% return. If someone missed the 10 best days of each decade, they would have made 28%. Do you see what I'm trying to say here, okay? There is a message that the vast majority of YouTubers preach that is dollar cost averaging is the best way to invest, but a lot of us don't do it. Myself, I have done this in the past as well. I thought I'm better than the overall market. I thought I'm better than the S&P 500. Whereas, over a long period of time, you're not. Was I during 2021? Yes, we made so much more than the S&P 500 when it came to our penny stocks, etc. We made some bad trades as well, but we covered them many times over. Will I be able to do that every year? No, not a chance. And thankfully, I got lucky. I am realizing that now. The numbers speak for themselves. And I just want to put this question forward to you guys. How many great investors can you think off the top of your head? Long-term investors, probably lots of them. Even if you're not an investor, even if you're not in the stock market world, everybody knows Warren Buffett. Most people are going to know Benjamin Graham, etc., etc. If I ask you to name me a famous day trader, you probably can't. You might think of a few guys on YouTube, but I mean a truly famous one. Somebody who is a household name, not just known in the finance community, not just known in the YouTube or TikTok community, etc., etc. They're not out there because they don't have the same longevity that a lot of these people do, such as Warren Buffett. Do you think Warren Buffett is worried about CPI data that's coming out today? No, he's not going to have his team just fixated on CPI. He's going to be keeping up to date with all of his companies. He's going to have people reading over the recent earnings that have been coming out. He's going to be looking for good deals. He's going to be looking at his own Warren Buffett index. He's going to be looking at the forward PEs and how they have been changing. I have that up here as well. A lot of people are bringing up valuations. The forward PE ratio for S&P 500 indexes right now, it has come down considerably to 19.7 when it was up nearly as high as 24, okay? It's still higher than historically average, no doubt about it, but it is getting better and better. Valuations are making a lot more sense in the stock market, even with the fear right now of recession, etc. I was taking down some notes when I was prepping for this video, and I took down this one. I can't see where I got this from, but 153 recessions were analysed across 63 countries from 1992 until 1994. It was found that only 5 of the recessions were predicted correctly by the economists in the preceding year. I mean, the economists, the macroeconomists, etc., they can't predict what's going to happen. They can't predict this upcoming recession. Now, they can go back and look at historical data and they can make a fairly good guess at it, as literally anybody else can, but they can't tell you exactly what's going to happen or when. If you still think, you're one of the select few, you can time the markets, or maybe you're one of the people who just says, I'm going to wait for the dip, okay? Imagine here we are, okay, and you buy at the very bottom, and then this dip happens. You're going to say, no, I'm going to wait for it to go a little bit lower, and it goes up and up, and you say, no, I'm going to buy the dip now next time. You're like, that's not a big enough dip. Oh, that's a big dip, I'll buy here. Well, look how much the price has gone up as you've been waiting for the dip. There's been a near 25% move. It's just not feasible to consistently time the market over a long period of time. That's why everybody on YouTube, big, small, and in between, does preach dollar cost averaging. It does preach buying and holding for long periods of time. Now, Anybody's allowed to try time the market. Anybody's allowed sell and rebuy their entire portfolio. Anybody's allowed completely reallocate their funds, their percentages, etc. That is something that is allowed, especially coming off the back of something like 2020 for new investors who would have been really heavy in more spec plays, more penny stocks, because it was easy to make money in the back then. You are allowed to change your portfolio structure. You are allowed to pivot, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. Being a long-term investor doesn't mean just buying and holding stocks. You do still have to be smart. You are allowed to sell companies you don't like, but the ones that you do like, you are better off buying piece by piece as the years go on and on and on. That is the primary message of today's video. Not to tell you never to sell stocks, to only ever buy stocks, but just the ones that you believe in. You know, you shouldn't have to worry about the prices all that often. And keep in mind, there is a certain human element to things as well. There is fear in the markets. There is at times greed in the markets. Things don't always make sense in the stock market or in any equity market or crypto, whatever it is. They don't have to make sense. And for things like that, you could generate the most creative AI, the best AI in the entire world. If one actually existed, if there was a trading bot that consistently made it money, everybody in the world would know about it. The big banks would go bankrupt. Institutions would go bankrupt because everybody would be doing it, and then it ultimately wouldn't work. It's impossible for something like that to exist. There is too much human emotion, human intelligence involved. So look, guys, I don't mean to be going off on a tangent here. It's not really what I like to do. I like to be all happy and upbeat, but the YouTube space is just crazy right now, man. And I'm finding it difficult to make videos on specific stocks when I just see all of this absolute insanity going on. It's a very different platform than it was when I started a couple of years ago. We'll put it that way. But anyway, guys, if you watch this video all the way till the end, you, my friend, are a true legend. I really do appreciate you being here. And hopefully I was able to give you some value. I'd assume most of you have already heard everything that was said in this video. But the things that were said are things that need to be drilled into your head every now and again. And they need to be drilled into my head every now and again. I'll come back and watch this video in the future and be like, Jack, listen to your past self. He's a lot smarter than your irrational mind right now. If you did enjoy, could I please ask you to hit that like button, drop me a comment down below, and please, my friend, subscribe if you're new around here. All of that genuinely helps me out so much. Again, if you want that free money from Moo, hit that link in the description, baby, or in the comment. It is easy money, baby. Also, for everybody who has watched till the end, I'm just going to share a personal life update with you. I got mortgage approval and I put a deposit down on a house. Me and my girlfriend did, and I am extraordinarily excited. I know it has nothing to do with this video, but yeah, I'm just really excited and I wanted to share it with you guys. And obviously, people who watch the videos till the end, you know, you're the true legends out here. You deserve to know. So it's a new build. We're not going to get to move in probably until around September, I do believe. September, October, all going well. I'm sure there could be delays. But I am so excited. And then we'll have a new office. We're going to be moving out of the cabin. It's going to be so weird. But I'll have a room purely dedicated to being an office. I'll get to set it up beautifully. We'll get a really nice background. I'm super excited for it. I just wanted to share it with you guys. But anyway, I won't take up any more of your valuable time. I really appreciate you watching all the way till the end. I will see you with another video very soon. Peace.